effects for Fight Club. He's in the credits for Fight Club.
Oh, did you guys know that there is a video game for the original the thing for PlayStation 2?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's definitely gained its following through the years.
Oh yeah.
I think.
As much as I love, especially all the Carpenter movies with Kurt Russell, I think this is my favorite John Carpenter and Kurt Russell team up.
I'm surprised you didn't mention that Carpenter's version is actually a remake.
It is. It is a remake of a 50s movie.
Yep.
Is it?
Yeah.
What movie?
It's called The Thing from Another World, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it is a remake. You see the monster in that one though.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it assimilates people. I've never seen it, but I remember like I've seen like the cover or the cover art on the video or DVD.
I watched it in film school.
Oh, cool.
And
so
it's not nearly as it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's compared to Carpenter's. It's completely cheesy.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to. It's good for what it is, but it's just hard to take seriously.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like watching like Charlie Chaplin or something. It's almost like a shot like that, like a silent silent pictures. So pretty cool.
So that was your number 4?
That's my number 4.
Okay.
Are we jumping back to me?
Back to you.
All right. My number 3, I don't know if you guys are going to be familiar with this one. I'm going foreign, but it's High Tension.
Ooh, I have not.
So the synopsis...
It's French, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, French horror. Two best friends, Marie and Alexa, embark on what was supposed to be a quiet getaway. After a home invasion, things soon turn deadly and a fight for survival becomes inevitable. It's rated R, 91 minutes long, starring Cécile de France and Mawine Lebesco and Philippe Nahan. It was released back in 2003, directed by Alexander Aja, written by Alexander Aja and Gregory Lafissure. It's considered survival/psychological horror, and it's got a 40% rotten rating. My spawn facts for this one is it's an incredibly close adaptation to Dean Koontz's novel Intensity.
There was like a mini-series in the late 90s for Intensity. I have seen that. And then I remember seeing the trailers for High Tension and thinking that looked very similar. I never saw High Tension, but I remember seeing the trailers and thinking that it looked very similar to Intensity.
I guess Dean was quoted saying he's completely aware of the plagiarism because I guess he was never given credit for it, but that he refused to sue them because he didn't want to be associated with the film at all. So I guess he didn't want to give them that publicity or whatnot. The movie is said to take place in the south of France, but was actually shot entirely in Romania because of budgetary reasons. Cecile, the main character, trained with a Thai kickboxer to prepare for the film. This was shot in 36 days, and that's what I got for this. I don't know what to say since you guys haven't really seen it, except for that it's fucking bizarre and insane. I love French horror because they can go places that I feel like we don't as Americans. I feel like they don't have really like that censorship that we seem to have in our subconscious. So watching their stuff is a cool culture shock for me. So this is a personal pick because I remember my grandparents rented this and they would not let me watch it, and so I snuck in their room because back then. I think we were doing Hollywood Video, so we get it for 5 days.
Okay.
And they would rent movies and forget that they rented them. So I snuck in and I swiped it and and I watched it anyway in my room, and it scared the shit out of me. And I had to be like 13, 14, 2003.
Yeah.
Still,
probably.
yeah, a young adult or whatever, and this still scared the shit out of me. It's just nuts. And what it turns out to be is one of the main players has she's like a, what do you call it? Like a multiple personality. She has that disorder or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's really like kind of a mind fuck by the end of the movie.
Okay.
It's not. Yeah, it kind of there's a crazy twist, and so I definitely think you guys should check it out, and our listeners should check it out if they haven't. It's called High Tension, and obviously it's in French. I think they have the dubbed version too, but who wants to watch the dubbed version? Watch the fucking real version and read. You lazy bastards.
Do you know if it's available like on Netflix or Hulu or anything?
Actually, I think it's on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look for it.
It's either Hulu or Amazon, but it's definitely on. I saw that it's available for streaming, so you guys don't have excuses. James, take it away.
So this is number 3, right?
Yes.
Okay. So my number 3 is Halloween.
I'll kill you if this is a joke.
Very nice.
And for those of you who don't know what this movie is about, after 15 years 15 years after a murder, after murdering his sisters on Halloween night in 1963, Michael Myers escapes from a mental hospital and returns to a small town of Haddonfield to kill again. Haddonfield. There you go. But yeah, obviously, the title is Halloween, and I mean, this movie is just creepy. I mean, for me at least, that's why it's number 3. It's the one thing that really gets me is that you can never really like kill him. Mm-hmm. Like in most of the horror like films now with like Jason or Freddy or Chucky, they're never really dead. And even if when you think they're dead, they always come back, and they're always like right around the corner. Whenever especially in the real like tension built up parts of the movie, and then Jamie Lee Curtis is in that, and so I think that's the first movie I've ever seen with her in it.
Well, that was her film debut.
Was it yeah? Okay.
I'm not entirely sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Yeah, I think that was her. She did that, and then Prom Night. But I think Halloween was her start.
Yeah, but that's my number 3.
Nice.
Well, you can't beat that score.
Oh no, it's so
John
good.
Carpenter's score is great. It's iconic.
Yeah.
So you and I have had this discussion before. What do you think of the Rob Zombie remake?
Have you've seen it?
I've seen number 1. I haven't seen. There's 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the second one. You met the guy who played him, right?
Yeah, Tyler. Yeah, I met him at the Monsterpalooza.
Yeah, that guy's. I mean, the way they make him in the remake is he's just like a giant.
He really
like,
is. That
ogre.
guy's really that big. He's like fucking 7. He's taller than you, dude. He's fucking scary. Yeah.
I thought the remakes were alright. I mean, I don't hate them. Mm-hmm. I mean, they are what they are. They're remakes. I mean, it's just like for me, it's like watching the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. I didn't hate it, but it's a remake and it's not. Mm-hmm. What did you think about it?
Oh, I hate it.
Did you?
I hate it so much.
That's why he asked you, so
Yeah.
so he could throw that in.
No, that's fine. No, I don't care.
No,
I mean,
the big reason why I hate it is because it tries to show you like how he became, like who he became.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
to show him like his childhood.
it focuses more when he's
The first 45 minutes is
It's him as a
back-
kid, and
is
he's like growing up
exposition.
slowly.
Yeah, and like it takes away like the mystery factor, I think, and it's the same reason why I hate the Star Wars prequels You know, because I don't need to know where Darth Vader came from. I don't give a shit. Like, he's just a good villain. And you get, like, just enough to know, like,
he
how
was
Michael
good.
Myers became Michael Myers, or how Anakin became Darth Vader.
Yeah.
But I don't need to see, like, all that. And I think that the Rob Zombie movie isn't nearly as effective because of that. Instead of just being, like, this killer, it's like, oh, well, he had a shitty childhood, and this is how he turned into who he turned into. Plus, there's, like, the scene where, like, kills all the guards in the...
That's actually only in the theatrical one. Because they
Serious?
Yeah. Because I've been...
The only time I ever saw it was in the theater.
Yeah, I've tried to watch, look for that scene, and you can't find it, because the one they released on video is, like, the director's cut. And that whole scene never happens. It's a completely different scene.
That's odd. It would be a director's cut, and they actually cut stuff from the original theatrical cut, because usually it's the other way around.
Yeah, they add stuff.
He must have, maybe he didn't like that scene, because it's something way more fucked up that he put in there. It's like two of the, you know how there's Danny Trejo is in it, and he's like the custodian. He has the other custodian that's an asshole or whatever with him. Well, anyway, that other custodian brings his, like, cousin or something who also works there, and they come in and they bother Michael in the middle of the night, and they bring a new how do you say, another woman who's just been brought in there, a patient, yeah, and they pretty much rape her on his bed, and they're like, oh, you know, you don't like women or whatever, and then Michael gets up and is like, what the fuck are these people doing in my room? And then he fucks them up, and then that sends him on his, like, rage shit, and then he gets out or whatever. But it's a completely whole nother scene.
That's odd. Maybe that was too fucked up to have in the theaters, and that's why he didn't have it, and he had just the scene of him killing the guards. But
my opinion on the Rob Zombie Halloween, now that I rewatched it maybe a couple weeks ago, I was telling Chris, I don't think it's as effective as when I first watched it back in 2007. Because I'm a big Rob Zombie fan. And I was super excited for this remake, but I don't think that it's aged as well as I would have liked it to. I think it's still good, but I can see people's, like, frustrations with it. Him taking the mystique out of the shape, and even the cast for Michael, he's, like, so towering that it's almost too intense.
Yeah, he's not just like a dude with a mask on. He's like a big giant.
He's like a giant.
Yeah.
And, like,
beast.
And there's certain things where there's, like, he's not even stalking. At the end, there's this fucking scene where Laurie comes into one of the houses down the street, and she locks the door, and she's super scared, and you think that she's safe, and he literally breaks down the door like nothing. Within seconds later, it's just like, holy shit, you know? So, I don't know. It's okay, but it's different.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a different vision.
Well, yeah, like you said, for me, I haven't seen it. I think the last time I saw it, it was on, like, FX or AMC or something, but that was, like, years ago. And I mean, I can't really, like, compare the two, but I mean, like, I haven't, especially all these original, like, horror films, I haven't seen them in a long time. But correct me if I'm wrong, but Johnny Depp was in the first one, right? Was he in the first one?
Nightmare.
He's in Nightmare. That's right. Okay, I always confuse those two.
That's where he got his start.
Yeah,
was Nightmare. But going back to the original Halloween, real quick, because that's one of my favorite, iconic slashers. Yeah, Michael. I thought it was very effective because if you watch the first film, it's, like, bloodless. Yeah. Yeah. There's not any gore, and that's how they intentionally wanted it. It's all atmosphere and tension, and him stalking these people who he could kill at any second, but he doesn't. And that's why this plays so well. And, of course, the score. Because I think there's a story where Carpenter had showed somebody, a distributor, the movie without the score, and he was like, "This is fucking bullshit." And then they laid under the tracks, and they're like, "Oh shit, this is fucking really scary."
Yeah.
So what holds that everything together is his menacing, the music that he chose for it.
Nice.
Any